get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want.
Hey guys, Coach Dan here. I'm a exercise and science degree holder. I have been coaching and personal training for 10 plus years. I've been training in gyms for over 20 years. And today I'm going to take you through my push workout on a fat loss phase. So I'm week 8 of a fat loss phase for me. Now, if you're interested in an update on the fat loss phase, I'll go through the description of the workout first and then I'll get to that afterwards. So if you're not interested, you can just hear the workout and skip through. So push workout for the day. So goal for my push workouts or just my training in general is muscle growth, or more specifically on a fat loss phase, potentially muscle retention. So when we lose fat, sometimes if we're not careful about it, diligent about it, taking our time with it, sometimes there can be muscle loss alongside that. So we want to make sure that we are retaining as much as possible, potentially building a little bit, but yeah, ultimately definitely not losing muscle. So workout for push involves chest, shoulders, and triceps. We're trying to train most of those muscles in different positions and potentially different parts of those muscles, so we get generally growth overall. All right, enough of that. So we are going medium, incline, Smith machine, bench press first. So that's one of my favorite chest exercises of all time. Lots of stability, a good upper chest exercise. I start off most exercises here with a heavier weight for a lower rep range. So we do a top set and then back off set or back off sets. And I find that feels pretty good for me. So I like doing that. Then we follow that up with a horizontal chest press, same thing, top set, back off set. That's got the yoga block behind the back for a big stretch. That's a horizontal pressing movement, that's good. Machine fly, we're pretty much going to take that strictly into the moderate rep range because doing that heavy didn't feel so pleasing, so it'll be about 10 to 15 reps, that one. I do somewhat unique technique, again, to make it such that I'm targeting more towards the upper pec, because that's a preference of mine. I don't really want to do too much work for my lower pec. Then we move into a couple of shoulder exercises. So low incline supine lying cable lateral raise, bit of a mouthful, but it's laying on the back on a slight incline, and lateral raising with the cable machines. Very good, very targeted, no cheating on that one. So that's a good thing. Neutral grip plate loaded shoulder press. We go back up for a top set, so a heavy set for a low rep range, and then back that down. And then to finish off, Smith machine skull crushers. Again, we've got a high amount of stability there, so we can really push quite hard. Might do 2 or 3 top sets on that and then 2 back off sets because we've got a bit of volume to get through for that. And that'll be the workout for today. So fat loss phase week 8. We've got 2 more to go, including this one. It got pretty challenging, or it has been fairly challenging the last couple of days, just as far as just fatigue goes. Like yesterday, I just wanted to have a sleep all day, and that's not very pleasant when you've got things to do and people who rely on you and stuff like that. So that's quite challenging, but the progress is good. So I started this fat loss phase at about 88 kgs. This morning I weighed in 80.8. A few of those came off pretty quickly because it was just after a cruise that I was on that happened. So no more buffets, so that came off pretty quickly. But ultimately, yeah, we've gone from 88 down to 80.8 with 2 weeks to go. So pretty good overall. Performance is maintaining. I'm getting up early, getting steps pretty high, so shooting for over 12,000 steps at the moment. 2,200 calories is where I've been, and I haven't had to change that for the last couple of weeks because we've been making steady progress. And yeah, I think some things to keep in mind. I think a high priority should be things such as sleep, trying to make sleep as good as possible, as consistent as possible, getting the duration that you need in, because I think that plays a major factor. And yeah, we just stay in good, consistent routines. I think it's not really too different from when you're not in a fat loss phase. You want to be consistently doing things, consistently progressing and stuff like that. So all in all, I would rate it as pretty successful. It's just, yesterday and today feel pretty ordinary as far as energy and motivation goes, but that is part and parcel of it. We got 2 weeks remaining, so not too shabby. And I think, the thing to keep in mind, these feelings or sensations of coming up and down, at least that's my experience, they don't last forever. So the low points, they're not going to be there forever. The high points are also not going to be there forever. So you just got to kind of ride the wave sometimes. All right, let's put in a good effort today. Let's go hit the Smith machine bench press first, and let's get going. Let's make sure intensity is good, focus is good, effort's good, and we'll smash it out. Here we go. Okay, first up, incline Smith machine bench press. I'm going to set a 2-minute timer because I tend to ramble on about with these exercises. So I'm going to get this done in at least 2 minutes. So incline bench press. The idea of inclining things is to target different portions of your chest, potentially higher up. So if we continue to incline ourselves, but the weight keeps coming down in a straight line, as happens with the Smith machine or against gravity, like with free weights, it starts to focus up your chest. So the weight keeps coming like this, but I'm inclining myself, and therefore it's going to start to focus on a higher portion of your chest. So there's part of your chest that obviously, well, not obviously, goes in towards the collarbone or clavicle, but there's also like higher portions that actually come in towards your sternum. So the chest will kind of attach to your arm, come across here to your chest, and kind of all the way until it kind of comes into the inner third of the clavicle and then kind of ends there. So it's kind of in that kind of position. So it helps pull the arm across, and if we incline ourselves, we're essentially going to target a higher portion. I've always liked the Smith machine because it has a large amount of stability, so it just comes down. You can work really hard and go close to failure without any risk. You can change the incline up over time, and I do myself. I've gone to a lower one. At some stage in the future, I might go to a higher one. Eventually, if you get all the way up, you'll be shoulder pressing. So that's, going to get your shoulder involved, probably the top part of your pec as well. But that's just something to keep in mind, to choose a good angle that targets where you want and the part of your chest. An easy way to know where it is kind of, that's coming down and kind of attaching the part of the chest that we're going to work. So that's high up on my chest, and my arm is getting pulled across towards my sternum. So I'm thinking control the way down, gentle tap on the chest, pulling my arm in, which is going to push the weight up. All right, we're doing a heavy set, so maybe a 6 to 8 banger, and then we're going to drop it back down to about 8 to 12. And I did that in about 1 minute 50. Let's get it. All right, next up, horizontal chest press. Nothing to it. This is a good chest press machine. I've always liked it. One thing that it does limit just a little bit is range of motion. So what I'll do is I'll take the yoga block, put it behind my shoulder blades. That will push my chest further forward this way, give me a deeper stretch, and allow that, nice range of motion, nice big stretch. Drive hands towards one another, stretch. Always really like the feel of this machine, but just that one limitation being the range of motion, and this kind of irons it out pretty much immediately. Strength is going up over the course of time on this one. Same here, I'll do a top set and then a back off set. It's only 2 sets of all my chest movements. So 1 top set, 1 back off set here. We've got flies after this as an isolation movement. The incline presses there, they went okay. I would say in this fat loss phase, the pushing movements have been the things that strength, retaining strength on have been the hardest. So that's interesting. I wonder if that's a common thing across people and populations. Is it because the size is changing and that makes a difference because bars are hitting your chest and stuff like that? So I wonder if that's the case, because back movements still okay, leg movements on average they're okay. I don't know, just some good data to keep in mind. I'll make sure I note that down for this fat loss phase compared to next, but very interesting. Or is it that we're overdoing volume, underdoing volume, whatever else it might be? So just some questions to answer. All right, I hope that was under my 2-minute allotment. I didn't set my timer, but I think I went pretty quick there. Okay, let's build it up. All right, next up we go chest isolation. I'll start the 2-minute timer so I don't bang on for more than 2 minutes. When that buzzer goes off, I'm done. So we've gone incline chest press. Again, not necessarily better for the upper part of the chest. It just doesn't let you use the lower part and the rest of the chest as much. Hence, it, may be a less efficient way to do it. But again, with my bias being more towards the upper pec and not using as much of the lower pec, I'm okay with that. Then we go to the horizontal chest press, and then we do a machine fly just for a little bit of isolation. So I'll take my hand high on the handle here, set my seat pretty low, so the arm is coming pretty high. So again, hopefully we get some more work into the upper pec and not as much to the lower pec. So we'll grab a handle. Another tip on the fly, I like to keep a soft elbow, which will just allow the bicep to stay a little bit chill, because the bicep is a muscle that passes both the elbow and the shoulder. Having it in this position puts a bit of stretch and tension on the bicep. So if we bend that a little bit, we can hopefully not feel that as much and ignore that a little bit. Soft elbow, shoulders towards one another. Squeeze the chest, stretch, squeeze. So a bit of isolation, or as close to isolation as we can get for the chest. And yeah, how did I do? 1 minute 15. I just got to stop banging on, right? Okay, let's build up our weight and get going. Fuck this shit. Yes? All right, next up we have my cable lateral raise variation. So this is a lying variation in the small cable machine here, where we bring a bench in on a small incline and we take opposite handle to opposite hand and we lay back. So I like this one because you get pinned on the bench, you can't cheat the movement, you can't do anything like this. We can adjust the angle that our arm comes with, and overall I've just felt it to be really effective. So what we'll do is we'll take, if you're facing into the cable machine, your right hand to the left side and your left hand to the right side, simply lie down with it, and then our lateral raise from there. So some things to keep in mind for this is to be really deliberate about your setup position. So when we set this up, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to work directly against the angle of that cable. So you set that up pretty, with a intent in mind. So we know that height. Once I've got that height set, I've got my bench height set, I'm going to take my arm directly against that cable. So if you want to take your arm in a different path, you'll change that such that you are doing that. So be deliberate about that in your setup. And that's about that. Again, we're going to work with maybe 2 or 3 heavier sets here for about 8 to 15 reps, and then maybe 2 light sets for 15 to 20. Find that to be a little bit better for the isolation stuff, whereas maybe with the compound stuff, we might do a heavier set at 6 to 8. The isolation stuff I've never really liked in too low rep range. So 8 to 15 for a few, which means we'll bump up the weight from last week, and then we'll bring it back down. plate-loaded shoulder press next. So this caps off the shoulder work. So when you're doing things like lateral raise, which I've done over their line, that's more the lateral delt. When we go to a shoulder press machine like this, because my hand kind of turns out and we bring the arm in towards the head, that's more anterior delt. Now, in some circumstances, it's potentially not as important to do this, or even so, a lot of the pressing movements and the flies, they'll incorporate the anterior delt. So it's never really too underdeveloped, but I get a couple of sets in just to be sure about it. So yeah, we've done our lateral delts first because that's a priority, and then we come onto this secondarily to kind of cap off the work. So at the moment I'm taking a neutral grip, but neutral or this one, both fine. Again, we're thinking about bringing the arm in towards the head to kind of work that anterior delt. Drive the arm and shoulder in. Nice range of motion, drive it in. So 2 sets here, same again, top set and down set. Feeling the fatigue, but just got to get it done. Let's go. All right, finishing off the workout with the Smith Machine Skull Crusher. So advantage of the Smith Machine Skull Crusher, like the bench press from before, increased stability, so you can train close to failure pretty safely without risk of technique failing or anything like that, so that's a good thing. And yeah, just another variation, and nothing wrong with the standard bar, easy bar, dumbbells, all these kinds of things. It's just that there are different variations and you can try them all over time and see what's most effective for you. One of the things that I do is I aim the bar. So skull crushers, you might see people aim them to different parts, like either the forehead or the chin, but I actually aim to just the top of the head, just getting a nice stretch to the tricep. And that's my preferred technique. I've tried multiple and I've kind of ended up on here. So how I'll do it, and it does take a little bit of jimmying around on the Smith machine because you don't exactly know from up here where that's going to come down, and it will come down in a straight line. So unlike a free weight where you can kind of move it where you want, this goes up and down with no choice otherwise. So you've got to kind of find that spot, line up your head. I know it kind of touches the top of my head here. Extend, control the down, bend the elbow as far as it'll go, straighten. All right, let's get this done and get on with life. Feeling pretty fatigued, challenging workout, but we're almost at the end. Yes. All right, that's a wrap on the workout, guys. Energy levels low in this one, so one of those times where you just got to grind it out. Strength doesn't feel great. 2 weeks remaining, and again, I think the important thing to keep in mind is that these things are not permanent. Like feeling bad, having a bad workout, it's usually not permanent. That's at least in my experiences. We have ups, we have downs, we have really good ones, we have bad ones. Energy dips, energy rises. You just kind of roll with it sometimes. Not trying to, fight against it too hard, because that can be quite fatiguing. Or why am I tired? Why am I this? Often we just have to accept it and move on. All right, my energy is a little bit low. That's life. Sleep was a little bit poor. That's life. You just keep going for it. You know what I mean? So again, if your reason why is strong enough, so nothing to it. Just got to keep going. Hopefully energy levels and things return to decent levels, over the next couple of days is the goal. Or again, you just got to roll with it sometimes. Don't put too much thought into it. Don't put too much, this is why, that is why. Just kind of go, well, it is the way it is, and we move on regardless. All right, time for me to eat. As always, if you're liking the content, make sure to hit the little subscribe up here. If you are wanting to watch a further video, click this bad boy here. Shorts, I've got plenty of shorts going now for little exercise tips and tricks. And as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.